A crowd of Cubans gathering in Little Havana to mark 2 years since an historic uprising on the communist island.
Nearly 2,000 people were detained. Hundreds remain jailed today. And Local 10's Sansabella live now in Little Havana with more on the significance of this anniversary. That's all.
Yeah, somber anniversary, at least in the images that we saw coming from D.C. Here, it's typical Miami, very rowdy with plenty of messages of folks demanding freedom in Cuba. A caravan for country ends in Little Havana with a message to Havana, demanding freedom in Cuba on the second anniversary of that historic uprising across the island. A familiar sound to get the message out to the rest of the world.
We need help.
In the crowd, we found Jose Galano holding the sign with the faces, he says, of political prisoners, himself a political prisoner of 10 years in Cuba.
Tiene que venir la libertad.
Freedom, he says, must come to Cuba because people are struggling and too many are being oppressed. Our cameras also in Washington, D.C., where dozens gathered outside the Cuban embassy, a more somber tone at this vigil where the names of Cuban victims who organizers say were either murdered or jailed were read out loud. Events throughout the day, we heard from Berenice Toledano from Santiago de Cuba.
Fue fuerte.
For the first time, she shares her story, one of thousands from Cuba, from those who took to the streets. She talks of the fear of simply doing what many of us take for granted, freely protesting her government. Following the protests, human rights groups say close to 1,900 Cubans were detained. More than 780 remain in jail, 911 were prosecuted and sanctioned, and about 90 are in exile. And since those historic protests, Cuba has seen a mass exodus out of the island. About 2% of its population has left Cuba. For now, reporting live from Little Havana, I'm Sansabella, Local 10 News.